and such a bright spot in my day, and so it's devastating for me, who's not even French, to see this happening.
Did you have any idea, as you saw this starting, how it could have started? Was there any indication, any sound, any particular smell, and any clue at all?
I'm not quite sure. I know that there have been reports of issues with the construction and the scaffolding that's been up there for a while. But yeah, all I saw was just a giant plume of kind of green-yellow smoke rising from the building for a really long time.
That's a laser.
And so where
all right, right here. Look. See this? It's probably a TR3B.
I'm facing west, but I'm looking at the
right here.
side.
Up here, people. Look up.
And I can still see
TR3B.
Pretty much right behind the two towers in the front and in the central part of the building. Still see flames rising up, and yeah, there are firefighters all around it trying to fight the fire, and still sirens.
She said she saw green, yellow.
And just the Seine is lined with hundreds and thousands of people. It is crazy. I've never seen Paris this packed.
And how are people reacting? And you're saying just that
lasers.
There are flames inside both towers. Is that what you're saying?
Behind the two towers, I can't see quite if it's in the towers. I sure hope not. But yeah, right in the middle of the building.
Okay, Annie Shipton, thank you very much indeed. We can speak now to another eyewitness there. Britain is in Akbatu, who was inside the cathedral. Where were you when this fire happened?
Okay, so basically, my mum and my sister are visiting me here in Paris. I'm on my year abroad, and we were inside the cathedral at Notre Dame at around 6:30, and a kind of alarm went off and an announcement saying that we should leave the building for our security. So the Notre Dame usually finishes at 6:45, so I assumed that maybe it was overcrowding or tourists had got too loud because the mass was still on, but obviously it was a fire.
Did you see the fire or see the smoke or smell anything?
When I was outside, yes, but not while I was inside. When we were inside and we were asked to evacuate, I actually couldn't see any sign of fire or anything like that. It wasn't until I was outside.
And what could you see when you were outside?
Well, as we were getting further and further away, we saw smoke rising, but it was a strange kind of colour. It had maybe a greeny or a yellowish kind of colouring to it, which we thought was quite strange.
And where was that coming from?
It was coming from the building. Sorry, there's just a beeping sound on the line.
And was there anything else that you could see? How fast did it spread, the flames?
We couldn't really see how fast it could spread because we got quite far away from it quite quickly. But we could see kind of a lot of ambulances and such in the area, so we just didn't want to really be in the way of the people that were trying to respond on the scene.
Okay. Thank you very much indeed for explaining that, Elise. Just to let you know that the Archbishop of Canterbury, Justin Welby, has tweeted tonight, we pray for the firefighters tackling the tragic Notre Dame fire, for everyone in France and beyond who watches and weeps for this beautiful sacred place where millions have met with Jesus Christ. Nous sommes avec vous. Martin Bashir, your final thoughts this hour?
Well, my final thoughts relate to the fact that this is...
Hello, everyone. I'm Tanya Rivero. You have been listening to the BBC. It is 4 o'clock on the East Coast here. We continue to follow the breaking news out of Paris. Here's what we know so far. A massive fire is burning through the famous Notre Dame Cathedral in the heart of the city. The fire broke out this afternoon. The main spire of the Gothic cathedral and the roof have already collapsed. The Notre Dame spokesman says the whole frame of the cathedral is burning. Crews are trying to salvage artwork and historical pieces from inside the structure.
Good luck.
A major operation to tackle the blaze is underway at the
850-year-old
Gothic building. Paris police say the cause of the fire is not yet clear, but local media report it could be linked to renovations that were taking place there. The area immediately surrounding the church is being evacuated, but thankfully there are no reported deaths so far. French President Emmanuel Macron rushed to the scene to meet with senior officials after postponing a televised speech to the nation because of the fire. In a tweet, he wrote his thoughts were with, quote, all Catholics and all French people. Here is a look at tomorrow's front cover for Libération, a daily newspaper in France. It simply says Notre Dame, with the image of the spire collapsing. Christophe Girard is the deputy mayor.
Burning from the inside out.
Culture. He joins
Directed
us,
energy
now by
weapon.
phone. Christophe, thank you so much for being with us on what must be a devastating evening for all of Paris. Can you please
green yellow,
put this
right?
tragedy into some perspective?
That's a laser.
Well, it's 10 p.m. in Paris, and it started exactly 3 hours ago. So, very long 3 hours. And of course, it's a tragedy. It's not only for Paris, it's a tragedy for the world. Because Notre Dame, so well described by Victor Hugo, is actually a jewel belonging to everyone on this planet. So we feel, and our mayor receiving so many messages from all around the world, from many mayors from America, from Europe, from Africa, from Asia. Everybody is just so concerned, so sad. But
what about the people in California? They got zapped. Nobody talks about them. PG&E, the Rothschilds.
Stop and contain
the Paradise Lost fires.
The people live around.
What about fucking California?
People live around. We have the hospital Hotel Dieu.
It's okay. Let's burn up a fucking town.
We have families, and we have to take care of them and make sure they would be able to
go home
somewhere tonight. So we are begging, actually, tourists and Parisians.
They have lasers, people.
To make the snapshot of their life, because the danger still exists, and we have to let the fire forces and the police department work in good conditions. Yeah. And of course, we are in a crisis condition now, and at the City Hall, and from the City Hall. Since 7 p.m. we could watch the progression of the fire, of the flames, and the cathedral, falling apart. So you can imagine just such a tragedy.
Heartbreaking. And Christophe, do we know at this point how the fire started?
Well, no, it's too early to actually say what happened. But what we know, and discussing with the bishop, early tonight, what was said was there is construction work going on, but it's absolutely too early to know. So we have to let
someone flicked a cigarette
and the firemen
into the
do
paint,
their work, and
because Europe needs paint.
Everything has to be put in question and be conditional.
And again, it's probably too early to answer my next question, but do you have any sense whether any of the artwork or artifacts inside have been saved?
Well, the Ministry of Culture and our services and the Louvre department have been cooperating to make sure that everything that can be saved and moved has been moved. We have been sending trucks from the City Department of Transportation, and the collaboration between the state and between the City of Paris is very, very close and very tight tonight.
Sure.
So things are being under control.
So some things have been taken out of the church then? Some things have been rescued?
Yes. Some paintings, and yes, there have been elements, being taken away, because when it started at the roof. So it was, the reaction of the bishop team and I would say the administration, of course, to react.
Yes.
To protect, the values they could take out. So they did.
Well, that's good to hear, because we didn't know whether anything at all had been saved from the church. So that is wonderful to hear that at least some things. Yeah.
There are many things being saved and transported by our services and the state services.
And then what is the latest that you were hearing from the Paris Fire Brigade about the status of the fire? Have they been able to put any timeline on it, or is that also an unknown at this point?
It's absolutely unknown, and we have to be extremely careful in words.
Of course. Now, this cathedral is not only iconic to Paris, it is iconic to the world. 12 million tourists come every year to come and visit the cathedral.
I'm too broke to come to Europe.
To tourism,
Al Gore took my job.
To Paris and to France.
Well, the feeling I have, there will be a lot of solidarity, because the cathedral actually belongs to the world.
I know that Europe needs paint.
Receiving through social networks already.
And you walk a lot.
Proposals of supporting, and it's very moving because everybody feels like it's their own.
Yes.
And the mayor of Paris, Anne Hidalgo, and the President Macron, they were together there, and I think they want to join the efforts. And actually, we will ask, I'm sure, for an international campaign to support, the repair. Because what we have to have in mind, once the fire is over, once we are sure every citizen...
Gosh, they're wasting all that water. Oh my gosh. It's amazing. They got the technology to knock this out in 2 seconds flat.
By people, or by fire, or by accident. So the future will be with us, and Notre Dame will absolutely be.
I'm so
spraying
happy to hear you say that. So plans
water
are sort of
on the
already
cement
underway to rebuild the cathedral. Then are there very specific notes and plans that still exist that would allow the cathedral to be more or less reconstructed as it once stood?
The wonderful historians, architects, and specialists of a landmark
I wonder what the insurance is all about on this one. Right, banker?